Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel on another episode on finance. I'm Shakir and today I'll be showing you how you can plan your monthly budget for the year 2022. I initially started this budgeting more than 10 years back when I wanted to save for a down payment for a car back in India. I actually wanted to save 40,000 rupees every month after all my expenses to put towards my down payment for the car. It worked like a charm. And in March 2011, I had my hands on the first car back in India. It was a red Volkswagen Polo. You can see a picture of it right here. Since then, I've used this budgeting technique whenever I wanted to buy something big, and it has always worked. Right now, me and my wife are saving up to buy our first property here in Australia. So far, it's going pretty well. Before we get into the details, please note that I am not a financial advisor and these are just some techniques and tips that I use. And these have worked for me really well in the past years. Okay, now let's get into it. I'm going to be sharing the spreadsheet. This is something I've used for 2021, similar kind of format. This spreadsheet has evolved over the last 10 years and I've liked how it has evolved and I've added a lot of functionality into it throughout the years. Note, even though my spreadsheet is for 2022, you can use this for any month. There are no restrictions to it. So I'll go through the budgeting for Jan 2022. Even though most part of Australia gets paid weekly, I get paid monthly. So my budgeting is also monthly. First, I put my salary here, which is $6,000. Before any expenses, I allocate 2,000 into my savings, which goes into here. This is the money which I wouldn't want to touch from my salary that's entered here. So now I'm left with $4,000 for my monthly expenses. First is my rent. I get my salary on the 15th and I put my rent on the 16th even though it's due only on the 19th. I like to get my bills out ASAP so I don't have to worry about them. We pay a rent of $1,800 a month, which is split between me and my wife. So my share is 900, which goes in here. The next big expense is sending money back home to India to support my parents and some investments in India. This is $600 every month. I bought a new car in 2019, few months after I moved to Melbourne. I pay a monthly EMI of $521, which goes in here. My internet costs $60 and it's split between me and my wife, so $30 goes in here. My mobile plan is with Leica, which is $30, that goes right in here. I pay for my Amazon and Netflix subscriptions, which is $7 and $20, which goes in here. The electricity bill comes once in 2 months. It usually comes to around $140 to $150 for 2 months. I put the amount in here when the bill comes in. And the water bill comes once in 3 months. It's usually around $60 per quarter. So I put the amount in here whichever month the bill comes in. The other expenses I put in the start are the health insurance, which me and my wife share. My share is $100 a month. That goes right in there. And I allocate $100 a month for fuel, which is entered here. The fitness expenses come in here. My gym membership is $65 a month. And I'm learning swimming, which comes at $63 a month. This makes a total expenses of $2,436 and gives me $1,564 for my other expenses. So the grocery expenses is tracked. I put each of the expenses here. We usually spend around 500 to 600 on groceries. The transport expenses go in here, but I don't use the metro anymore. So this section is usually empty, but it will come in handy for people who use the metro. We do love watching movies in the cinema, so if we do, that goes in here. Other entertainments like going to an event or music festival or any shows all goes into this section here. Any shopping that I do goes in here. any of the expenses which I spend for myself, for example, if I get a massage or a haircut, that all goes into here. We eat out once or twice a week. Me and my wife alternate between paying the bills, so it is kind of split. But the eating expenses, each of which I pay for, goes in here. Any other expenses which doesn't fall into any of the categories goes into miscellaneous. Okay, let's see how I work with this spreadsheet. Let's say I have a grocery expense of $50 during the first week of Jan. So I put the expense in here. Okay. Then let's say we eat out in a restaurant for $50 as well during the first week, which I pay for, which I enter here. Okay. Then let's say we watch a movie in the cinema, that will go in here. So I usually update the spreadsheet every 2 or 3 days, so I keep a track of all my expenses. But some might want to update it once in a week. That's totally fine. One interesting feature which I have in the sheet is per day expense, which is left. You would have noticed this cell, how the value kept changing as I entered my expenses. The cell below that shows how many days are left in the month. Currently it is showing 91, as we have 91 days left for 31st Jan 2022. But on 1st Jan it will show a value of 31. If these are the expenses at the end of first week of Jan, then there are 24 days left for the end of the month. So let's put in 24 there, just for argument's sake. 24, yeah. Then the above cell shows a value of 59.54. What it actually means is I can spend a little below $60 a day for the rest of the month and still finish up on budget. This number gives me an indication of how I am doing for the month. This type of budgeting has helped me a lot. I hope it helps you as well. I have shared the file for you all to use it. The link is in the description below. Please use it and let me know what you think in the comments. If you want anything to be added or any improvements to be done, please let me know about that as well. On the savings of 2000, I actually put $500 into the emergency fund, and $500 goes into saving up for a holiday. $500 goes into investing into stock market in stocks and ETFs, and $500 goes into saving up to buy our first home. We've actually reached the target on the deposit of the first home, but we haven't found the ideal property to buy it. So the savings for the house deposit has drastically reduced now. During the peak of the pandemic, there was nothing going on into the holiday fund, but for 2022, that's going to be different. So during the pandemic, the holiday fund money used to go into the deposit for the home. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Please check out our food and travel blog. The link is in the description below. Also, there are some links in the description for freebies and rewards for the services which I use. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great week. Ciao.